Hello, brothers and sisters. Mike White and Jeff Simpson, your legislative liaisons, coming to you again with your Week 3 recap and weekly update of the legislative session. Jeff, you want to give us a rundown of what we've been doing?
Sure, yeah. We've been just trying to get our bills moving along. We've asked for hearings and received some hearings. We continue to work with sponsors to make sure the bills are in good shape to move out of committee. Sometimes we have to work with various proponents of other points of view and adjust our bills, amend them, and try to get them out of committee and get them to rules and then to the floor for a vote.
As you're watching this, this Friday will be our first cutoff. That's the policy cutoff, meaning bills have to be passed out of their policy committees to be considered alive and continue moving through the process. There are some exceptions, but for the most part, if your bill's not out by then it's dead.
We feel pretty good about where all our bills are at the moment. We did introduce one kind of late this week. We had to send it out to stakeholders, and it's a study bill. You want to talk about that one, Mike?
Yeah, sure thing. So one of the things is we've been looking at the fire service and some of the problems we're facing coming up here. A lot of our members are eligible to retire. We need a new fire training facility. We have wide issues with wildland mobilization. And so we want to get everyone in the room, including legislators, and try and put together a plan going forward.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we think it's time to take a look at the fire service in Washington, top to bottom, wildland side, emergency management division, state fire marshal's office, and bring everybody together and say, are we doing as good as we can? Are there things we can make better? You know, and we think that this hopefully will produce some good results for our members.
Our issue highlight for this week is our presumptive disease legislation. You are probably all aware that we've had coverage for quite a while. It started off in 1987 with us getting protections for lung problems. It's since expanded twice, 2002 and 2007, where we were able to get heart problems covered and cancers and certain infectious diseases. A few years ago, our members asked us by convention resolution to take a look at the new science out there and see what we could do to get additional cancers covered.
Yeah, we've got 9 cancers listed in our bill. We're not going to go through them all right now. We may or may not have all 9 of them in the bill by the time we get to the finish line, and we hope we're going to get this bill to the governor's desk for a signature. But aside from the 9 cancers, what else is in the bill, Mike?
We also include stroke as part of heart problems. We know that stroke is ultimately a cardiovascular condition, and then also including MRSA and infectious diseases. There is some coverage for law enforcement officers too under heart problems and infectious diseases. We're also looking at the qualifying medical exam, and we certainly know that some of our members wouldn't be eligible for the cancer coverage today because they never got a qualifying medical exam when they were hired. So looking at a grandfather process for those members, and then if your employer chooses to not give you a medical exam when you get hired, then they are on the hook. They're accepting responsibility for the presumption at that point.
And we still have those 2 pieces in there related to the publicly employed fire investigators, right? That
Yes.
work in governmental jobs. They're sifting through the ashes and coming in contact with these carcinogens, and we think that they should be covered, as well as our third service medics that don't actually go into the fire but are at the fire scene, are working side by side with us at emergencies, co-located in our fire stations, receiving lots of different exposures. They're more susceptible to needle sticks, for example, and infectious disease exposures, yet they have no protections for those today, and so we think that's another important component of this bill.
These 2 bills passed out of their respective committees. The House Labor and Workplace Standards, we had a bipartisan vote with 5-2. It's now in the Rules Committee, and then in the Senate side, the Senate Labor and Commerce Committee had 5 Democrats supporting, and then 4 Republicans choosing to not sign against the bill. So they basically were abstaining from the vote. So that's a good indicator that we'll have some bipartisan support when it comes to the Senate floor.
So that's about it for this week. We're going to wrap it up here and make sure you take a look at your bill report, and there's been a lot of movement. Bills are moving in and out of committees, and we'd like you to stay updated on those. And as always, please give us a call if you have any questions or suggestions. Thank you.